Hello, colleagues. I'm glad to welcome you on our webinar about remote learning and motivating employees during remote work. My name is Eugene, and I am a product owner in our company, Smart Business. And today I'm going to talk with you about how to organize remote learning, how to classify your learning materials, how to organize groups for learning, and I will provide you guides for step-by-step instruction how to organize this process, how to step into this process, and how to learn your remote teams. So first of all, I would like to tell you that our webinar will be about 35-40 minutes. Yes, we will have a session of Q&A session. Yeah, and if you don't have any issues with your audio and video quality, please type plus sign into chat. So you have control panel, yeah, where you can switch off translation, you can cancel this webinar, but also you have chat button, and here you can type plus to just me to know that everything is okay. If something will be wrong, we will try to fix it as soon as it is possible. Okay, so let's get started, and let's start with the first part, and with the definition. What does learning management system means? Yeah, what does it mean, and what is the difference between learning management system and e-learning? There are different terms, yeah, and we have to define what does learning management system and e-learning means. E-learning means just learning in some formats. Yeah, they are directly connected to the electronic formats such as video presentations and so on and so forth, and this means that user use these formats just to learn something in a mode when these materials are ready to use. Yeah, but learning management system means more. Yeah, of course, previously we do have also did have also offline formats for the learning, but right now we mostly have just online formats for the learning. And learning management system is more general term. Yeah, it means that you define or you implement the whole system for learning management process. Yeah, so for automating of this process, it's not just a portal where you do have some materials and where somebody can learn something, yeah, but you also have a system. System means the processes, yeah, and the processes mean some steps, some actions, notifications, and so on and so forth. Yeah, maybe some consequence of these courses. And also, if we're talking about learning management system, we are talking about some common HR system. Yeah, of course, because learning management system is just a part of your entire HR system in the company. Okay, so what types of learning you do have in your company? Yeah, I will tell in general, of course, but I hope that it will cover most of types of the learning in the companies. First of all, mandatory learning. Mandatory learning means the learning that is connected directly to your duties, yeah, as an employee. It means that this learning or like some set of learning, they are directly connected to your job profile. Yeah, and the company is expected that you know this material. Yeah, so that you can like repeat these materials for your clients, for your partners, and so on and so forth. Yeah, this is mandatory learning. So based on your job profile. Project learning, it also the type of the learning in your company. For instance, if you have internship programs, some academies for the potential employees. For instance, in our company in Smart Business, we have Smart Academy. This is the learning activity, of course. Previously, it was blended here because it was offline and online learning, where somebody is applying to this program and they have exact time frame for this learning. Yeah, they have, for instance, 2 months for the learning, and by the results of this learning, we are providing the result, like they will be hired or not. Yeah, this is example of the project learning. one-off learning or like a single learning, when you have some quickly communicate, so when you have to quickly communicate with your employees, when you have to update something in very strict format, in very short time frame, and it is not about like it is not about like a common learning or common course. It's in general, it is about one learning module, one page even, with this information. Right now we have very turbulent situation in every country actually, and we have a lot of news updates. We have user updates in our rules in our company. We have updates and legal acts in the country and so on and so forth. And all of this information, this information is directly connected to how we acting in our company. Yeah, so we have to learn how to act in new environment, our employees. Yeah, this is one of them. And self-studying. Self-studying means that you have not you, but your employee want to learn something, yeah, and actually how it works in general, of course, yeah. They have some skill gaps, yeah, and they want to fill these skill gaps by some learning, and they trying to find this learning on YouTube or Udemy, Coursera, edX, and so on and so forth. So different sources of learning, yeah, and your employees are trying to fill these gaps by their self-study. But you can have this self-studying resource in your company, yeah, and you can provide like a verified by your company verified materials for this self-study. This self-study is not directly connected to the duties. This self-study is not correctly directed to the job profiles of your employees, but they are about self-development. They are about soft skills, or maybe some promotion that will be like a result of this learning. Okay. This is self-study. There were different types of the learning. So you also can use these types of the learning to identify what types of the learning you do have in your company, or you don't have, but you will in the future. Okay, so what will be the result of implemented learning management system? Yeah, learning management system like a IT product. And of course, the methodology or some processes in your company that will help you. First of all, organize and build this learning management process. Yeah, so it will be not just okay, let's learn something. Yeah, let's this part of our employees will learn something new, but this will be like a project with exact schedule, with exact time frames for update, with exact time frame for delivering this learning, and with exact time frames for assessing the knowledge of your employees. Yeah, so you will have this like a transparent process of learning in your company. Of course, delegate routine operations, yeah, because if you do have this IT learning management system, you can automate some notifications, you can automate automatic assignment of the courses. Of course, if you have, for instance, new employee, yeah, you hire a new employee, so you can automatically assign the welcome to smart business, for instance, company course, yeah, and then you can assign like a sequence of the courses required for this job profile. Okay, so you can delegate this routine. Solve the problem of the spoiled phone, yeah, or subjectivism of the providing the information about your company, about the products of your company, and so on. So for instance, if in your company you do have internal trainers, yeah, of course they are delivering some information for that. For the students, yeah, but they are using these materials, and then they are providing they can add to this information some subjectivism. They can add some their point of view on some elements of the process, and so on. Yeah, so if you have like a structured information, structured learning modules and learning courses about products of your company, about the process of your company, you can be sure that this information is directly delivered to your employees. Okay, you can use internal trainers for adding this information or providing like a online, yeah, led by trainer courses, but you also will have like exact learning materials about exact product or exact processes in your company. Okay, second one is remotely monitor the level of knowledge of your employees. Of course, if you do have like a different point of sales, for instance, or if you do have different offices in different countries, you want to provide the same level of the customer service. You want to provide the same level of the customer support and so on and so forth. So you have to be sure that the standards in your company, all employees in different offices, they are led by these standards. Okay, so you have to know the level of the knowledge about the standards or some different information, of course. Yeah, so you can, with learning management system, you can assess this knowledge, you can see the results, and you can see some pain points maybe in some offices, in some point of sales, in some regions, and so on. Yeah. And you can, of course, start to fix these issues. Another point that LMS will help with is the storing or accumulating the knowledge and experience of your company into one place, into one document. Yeah, you can have these documents. You have different versions of the documents that are describing your company, your products, your processes, and so on and so forth. So you are accumulating this knowledge. You know that this is your document, this is your experience, and you can use them to improve this experience. You can use them to improve these processes and so on and so forth. And you have this history information. Yeah, so this is yours, and you can, of course, you can use these documents to get some additional values for you. Of course, it is about discipline for employees. Because in case when you are trying just to say, okay, these documents, please read this document very carefully, and this is our new rules of customer service, you can be sure that everything is okay with the learning process. Yeah, but in case when you have system that will define the progress of the learning, that will automatically assess the level of knowledge, I think you will be able to be sure that this learning process is okay for your employees, okay? And the results, of course, of this learning. And of course, learning management system helps you to accumulate information and accumulate the data, the results of your employees. So this is the part, as I mentioned earlier, this is the part of a HR system in the company. Yeah. So you can add this part to the employee profile, and you can add this information to have more wide employee profile and more wide information about employees' experience in your company or employees' journey in your company. And of course, you can use this information to provide some management decision based on this information. Okay? What are the cases of using employees? When it is effective? Of course, when you do have to train a lot of staff very quickly and monitor the success. Okay, so it is about scalability. So if you have one trainer and you have to learn, for instance, 100 employees, yeah, it will take a lot of time maybe. But if you have very turbulent situation when you have to apply, add new information and be sure that this information was delivered to the employees, you of course need to use learning management system. Of course, when a company use some techniques, technologies, products very specific, and they need to require training of the employees. Okay? And of course, when a company has a high turnover rate, because you have to be sure that the new employees, they know exact information that is needed to provide the best service for your clients. So if you have a high turnover, it really depends actually on retail market here, but also it could be in not just retail. So you have to be sure that the new employees knew this information. And of course, when employees are scattered, so they are in different places, different offices, different regions, you also will be able to provide this information very quickly and very in very coherent way. Okay, so where to start the implementation process of your learning management system? Of course, it is like with any IT product, it is not just about installation of the product. Yeah, it is not about just deployment of the product and okay, oh, we have learning management system. It is about using your learning processes, yeah, or implementing your learning processes into the system. System, of course, is just a tool for you to automate this process. So first of all, you have to define what kind of content do you have to learn your employees. Okay, so first of all, you have to identify the user groups and their needs in exact skills, in exact, so what they be able to do after the learning, yeah, so what they need to know after the learning and so on. So you have to identify this feature because this is directly depends on what kind of content you will be provide and what amount of content you need to provide to any groups of your employees. Audit training materials. Maybe you do have training materials, maybe not. Yeah, of course, first point of interest in getting information about your company, your products is your website, because even if you don't have a good presentation and so on and so forth, a lot of companies right now are investing a lot of time and money in having a good website with good information on it, and also it could be also Facebook page or something like that, yeah, but your page, yeah, your company's page, so it will be starting point. The second point is a sales or marketing department. Oh, of course, if you are providing some presentation for clients, you of course have some presenting materials, yeah. They are not exact learning materials, yeah, but they could be if you transform them into learning materials. So define, audit them, try to find out where you do have these materials. And of course, determine the format of this content, yeah, because depending on the format, you will have this time frame for updating this content. You will understand how frequently you are able to update this content, and so on and so forth. Yeah, because if you do, for instance, video materials, it will be it will take a lot of time to update this video, yeah, because you will need to add something, change the sequence of some modules and so on and so forth, and after that you need the production, so you need to produce this video after these changes. So it will it will take a lot of time to produce this new video material. So identify the formats, what types of formats you will have. We will try to find out how to identify the formats, and I will give you some simple guides how to understand it. Okay. If you do have existing materials, start from audit. Audit these materials, then identify the formats. So even if you do have some instructions in PDF or you do have PowerPoint presentation, maybe you think that you need to add some animations to it, you need to add some interaction with end user to it. So based on it, you will define what types of materials do you have. Or for instance, this is, I don't know, just needed to be in video format, like information about the company. Yeah, cool presentation where you will add some videos from your corporate events and maybe some achievements of the company and so on and so forth. And it could not be added just in presentation, yeah, because you do have a lot of video content from your corporate events, so you will want to have it in video type. Okay, assign the owner. So every learning materials should have an owner. So what does it mean? This owner will be responsible for this content, and of course for the updating of this content. It could be not just one person, but it could be the group of the person. For instance, sales division, marketing division, so on and so forth. And of course, afterwards, design and upload these materials to learning management system. If you need to create learning material, so you don't have this learning material right now, yeah, start from identifying the needs. Form the list of the employees that will be that will take a part in this learning process. Yeah. Of course, the second and the same as in previous slide, identify the formats of these materials. Set priorities and development sequence. I will tell about it a little bit later, but you have to identify priorities. The most efficient trainings will be those trainings that are covering big amount of employees in your companies, or big groups in employees in your company, okay? Because if you learn just 2 or 3 employees, it will be not so efficient, okay? Because you will spend the time, you will spend the money for developing this learning material, so you have to identify the priorities, okay? And form working team that will be responsible for the development of the course. Yeah, we will talk about it also a little bit later. I will describe the roles in this team. And of course, develop the content and upload it to learning management system. Next point or next step, audit learning management system users. So identify user groups, calculate turnover rate, identify when they will use your learning management system or just a learning portal, how and on which devices, yeah, and place and time where they will use this learning portal. And you can use, I will give you an example, yeah, like this. So this is an example of audit of LMS user, where you have something like, in my case, this is case of the retail chain. Yeah, so we have sales representatives, we have cashiers, managers, linear personnel, division heads, and C-level managers. Yeah, so we have a quantity of employees on this position, or it could be just a group of, not just a position. Yeah, we have a turnover rate, and we have when they will learn. Yeah, adaptation processes, new product arrivals, service standards changes, and so on. Yeah. So you can see that if we have a big quantity of employees with high turnover rate, you can prioritize this learning, yeah, because it will have a huge effect on the of the quality of service, for instance, for your company. Okay, so this is an example for you, so you can use this table also to audit your learning management system users. Okay. And the second one, so when you do have this table with your groups of users, yeah, you can build the methods. So where you have like groups of users, when you have topics that you think they have to know, and you have learning courses. So you plan some learning courses that will be in the time period of the employee journey. Yeah. We can see here, for instance, we have sales representative, cashier, and manager. Yeah, so company's history is mandatory for all of these groups, of course. Yeah, customer types also is mandatory for all of these groups, of course. Yeah, and for instance, Excel is for self-study. Yeah. Process of hiring of new employee is not mandatory for sales representative and the cashier. Yeah, of course it is mandatory for manager, and so on and so forth. So you will have this like a matrix where you do have source of this material, links of course for these materials, author or responsible group or responsible person for this material, and of course the learning course that will be that will cover these topics. And you have this update frequency. So of course you need to assign this updating frequency. Why do you need to do it? Because if we're talking about, for instance, company's information, yeah, we can talk about annual update, yeah, because for instance, just about description of the company, we are the company that is working on this market more than 10 years. Yeah, the next year you will update this information for 11 years, of course. So annually is okay for a company's history. Yeah, but if we're talking about some products, about some services, about customer service standards, it It could be information that will be updated very fast, but also it could be information that is not updated even annually. Yes, so it depends on the processes in the company. Of course, if we're talking about the products right now, we do have a lot of updates of different products. Yeah, the properties are changed. There are some companies trying to make accent on some specific options in the products and so on and so forth. Yeah, so this is will be something like it could also update it monthly or quarterly, depends on the product, of course. So you can use this table to audit the materials, user groups, and identify the update frequency of these courses. Okay, and as a result of these learning groups, learning materials, and groups connected together, you can form learning plans for each group. So, like in my example, yeah. So for the first week, every new employee will have welcome to company course. Yeah. For the second week, this group will have service standards, and for the third week, about courses about the product, evaluation, and so on and so forth. Some additional courses, they also could be added into these learning plans. So when you do have learning groups, when you do have learning courses, you have to understand these learning plans. So you have to understand the sequence of the courses, you have to understand the time periods of the assigning of the courses, or even recurrence of the courses. So every year, yeah, I should to refresh some knowledge in some spheres, so this will be added to these plans also. So this is the result, yeah, like a ending point of your plans about your learning courses. And of course, when you do have these plans, when you understand where you don't have materials, where is priorities, yeah, so you can plan your activities to develop in your courses, yeah, based on this information, of course. Okay, what do you need about the development of the new course? Of course, it is a project. First of all, you have to understand that in this project you will have almost the same roles like in every other project. So you will have a customer sponsor, yeah, you will have contact expert who will provide you relevant content of this course. You will have project manager that will be responsible for the result, who will be responsible for the time period of the delivery and so on, yeah. Of course, because it is about content and it is about written content or video content, you will have to, you will not have, but also you need to use copyright. Yeah, it will really increase the quality of your course. It will increase the quality of learning and, of course, the quality in results for the employees. Also, editor and LMS administrator. Yes, so learning management system administrator who will upload this content when it will be delivered. And of course, for the first time or when you are just at the starting point of implemented learning management system, it is very common situation when this role is just one person. Yeah, so it is not so okay, but you have to understand that it is not okay to have to assign these roles to just one person, because it also in very common situation, this person is also delivering some working duties, yeah, and it is not like a learning and development specialist from the beginning. Yeah, so it could be HR specialist, it could be marketing specialist, it could be just initiative person who is who wants to implement the system. Yeah, who understand that we have some pain points and gaps in skills and in knowledge, so we need to implement the system. And he or she will be responsible for these duties. But in normal situation, you will have to, you will need to have learning management system administrator, of course, copywriter, designer, and the context expert as a different person. Okay, So if we're talking about the project stages of delivering or developing the learning course, is initiation or gathering needs. Yeah, so every project is starting from initiation. Forming the project team, of course, as I mentioned earlier, develop the structure of the course, setting the formats or identifying the formats, what formats will be used in your course, drafting the script. The script means that the sequence of the material, the like a phrases and connection with them, and so on and so forth. So like a sequence of this learning process. Okay. Development or production of the executive. Knowledge check development means developing of the quizzes for knowledge check. Yeah. Testing. So use the testing groups and test this course before providing for the all groups of your employees. Yeah. Just test it and use also not the like a target audience test group, but you can use target audience from different even department, just to be sure that everything is okay and everything is okay with content and everything is okay with delivering and coherence of your course. And go live support. So assign this course to target audience and support it. Why do you need to support the course? Because it is not the project that will end with this delivering this course for the first time. It will be updated. It will be updated even monthly, could be updated even monthly or weekly. So you will have to update it again. You will have to test it with the test group and also again and again go live. So you have to support this course. So you have to also build this supporting processes, yeah, and assign responsibilities, of course. First phase, initiation. It's good to have some application for this first step, because in this application, this initiator, yeah, will describe what is the cause of the needs, what will be the good measurable results for this course, yeah, what will be the target audience and the amount of this target audience, yeah. So that's why we need to have this application. Yeah, this application will could be added to this table. Yeah, with the groups of users, the amount, for instance, turnover rate, and based on this, you can prioritize this application. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, who will be responsible for the course? Please assign it. Assign one responsible, assign some group of responsible person, because you will have a lot of questions about the content, about the I don't know, even about design, even about some points of this course. So you will have you will need to have the responsible person who will update these materials, who will use this, who will be a part of this, of the support team of this for this course. Okay, and of course, try to check the changes into the materials. Okay, so if you change just 2 slides in the presentation, just to set these comments into learning material, just to be sure that everything is tracked, just to be sure that you know what changes was done previously, and so on. So it is good to have this history. Also, very good point is to store the source for your learning courses into on corporate drive, yeah, into one place, because if you lose them, it will be very of course it will take a lot of time for you to develop it again, and of course it will even it will take a lot of money to develop, for instance, new video, if you don't have any like a source materials, script of this video, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so be sure that every source material and the results, of course, they are stored in one corporate drive. Yeah, it could be SharePoint, it could be OneDrive, or whatever drive you are using in your company, yeah, but be sure that they are stored, they have backups, yeah, and everything is okay with these materials. And also, if in our company we're using Teams, yeah, and this Teams is connected to the SharePoint, so we know that these materials, they are stored in this SharePoint, yeah, and we can also add some communication regarding this course or regarding these changes in the Teams. So also we can have, and we are adding some channels to the test groups to provide or to get feedback from them about the course, about the new course that we want to deliver to the employees. And just another points about some types of the materials, yeah. First type of the materials, it could be video format. It could be YouTube video just uploaded to the learning management system. It could be Office stream video. What is the benefits of the video? Yeah, of course, you do have a picture, you do have a dynamic, you do have, you can combine presentation and the speaker, and it is very good format for understanding. So it is very popular format, yeah, I have to say. But it also consumes a lot of time to produce this video. It requires skills from the presenter, yeah, of course, just to be sure that this video is interesting, just to be sure that this video is engaging you into the process. So yeah, skills, time, or even money for producing, it will there will be minuses of the video, but you have a good points why to use video formats. Okay, audio formats. It is not so popular format, but in case of, for instance, call center operators, yeah, they are using headphones and they can learn something using their headphones. And even they have a situation when they don't have options to start additional software on their devices, so they can use audio just to learn new materials. And also they are, it is very efficient for them because they are ready to get information through the audio channel. Okay. Interactive learning, like a SCORM format, yeah. SCORM format is a common learning format of materials, and you can add some interaction into these materials. So it is not just a standard presentation like in PowerPoint, yeah, but you can also, for instance, have like a simulator of dialogue with client, yeah. So you can simulate the situation. In my case, this is like a sales representative speaking to the client of the car sailing, like a shop, yeah, point of sale of cars, yeah. So in this case, we are trying to provide the same situation that they can face in the real life, yeah. And we are trying to find out what will be the behavior of these sales representatives regarding to the client, yeah. And based on his answers, we are trying to track this information. It is very useful for sales representatives and those who are facing the clients directly, yeah, but or indirectly, in our case. Another type of the material is documents, or just PDF files. Yeah, they could be converted. These documents could be some instructions, some rules of the company, and so on and so forth. No one reads these documents, you know it, yeah. But of course, you can track the progress of this document. You of course can assign knowledge check after this document, but I will not recommend to use it alone. They could be learning materials for a starting point, yeah, but feel free to think out of the box, yeah. Feel free to convert these documents into presentation, add some slides, add some images, add some maybe interaction into them, yeah, and this will have a good effect on the learning, on the learning, yeah, of course. Yeah, and another part that I want to cover is to define the structure of the materials. Yeah, so in corporate segments, structure of the materials is the skills, so skill matrix of your company. So every materials have to be assigned to some skills, because if we're talking about job profile is described by skills and the level of the skills regarding to exact position or regarding to exact job profile. So in case if you have learning management system, these learning materials should be assigned or added or connected to the skills. Yeah, so you can add the skills and you can provide the skills as a filters for your learning materials. Of course, if we're talking about self-studying, yes, so make a cool content. Yeah, this content have to be interesting for the user. This content have to this is description of the content have to need to have some call to actions and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's why you can you need to spend time to provide this content in very such a pretty way. Yeah, not just a standard document with standard description. Yeah, because you are trying to attract attention of the employee, and you are trying to provide this material, and you are trying to say that this is very useful for them. Yeah. Okay, another part of the learning is the gamification. So feel free to add some gamifications option into your learning management experience, because learning, it is not so interesting part of the work, you know, yeah, not all for all of us, yeah. So you can turn your employee into the character of the game, yeah, with some characteristics. And for the some activities, some actions, completion of the course, completion of the sequence of the course, you can add the badges, you can add some points for these badges, and you can provide some benefits that is converted to these badges or to these points, okay? And you will engage more your employees into the learning process. So feel free to use this mechanics also. Yeah. Another part of the remote work is to say thank you to your colleagues. Yeah. Right now we have a lack of face-to-face conversation. We have a lack of this thank you for something. So you can use some digital tools to say thank you for your colleagues, to your peers, yeah, and to have this mental connection with your colleagues, yeah, and to provide better communication, better experience. Yes, you can share your you can share your appreciation for some help. Yeah, and of course your peer can also like this or no. Yeah, using this tool, you can have some visualization of the current situation, yeah, what your colleagues are thankful for, yeah, and so on. So a connection between the colleagues and some support opportunities and so on, work and so on. Yes, so you can have this visualization of the exact situation in your company. Also, in a chat, in business communication right now, in almost in all instant messengers, you do have these options to add some GIFs. You do have options to add some smiles, likes, reactions. Please use it, because right now we have a lack of this communication, lack of face-to-face communication, and it will help, and it will show that you are really appreciate for some help, you are really appreciate for the conversation for your colleagues, yeah, and use some non-formal gifts even when you are asking or telling about something. Yeah, use it, it will add some good points to into communication in your team. Okay, so that's all from my side. right now I will ask you to ask questions in the chat. Yeah. Also, I have to say that 14th of May, we will have also webinar about digital onboarding, how to build digital process of onboarding. Right now, it is very actual topic. Yeah. So, any without any connection or another without with minimum touches, yeah, with your potential or new employee. And also on the 20th of May, we will have webinar about creation and support of content for LMS. Yeah, I will provide some deep dive in the learning development, yeah, and provide more features about this, the development of the content. Also, if you're interested in the system that I was shown as an example of learning management system, you can go to our website and learn more about our smart HCM LMS learning management system. Okay, so I will go to my chat and I will see if you have any questions.
Eugene, we have some questions. Please check your Teams.
Okay, I will check it right now, but right now I can't see. Maybe you have to publish them.
I will write the question in the Q&A panel, okay?
Yeah, okay. Other tools for the so we do have a question, and this question is: are the tools for motivating employees different in different industries? What tools you can recommend as universal? So first question is about different industries. You know, yes, it could be different, but they are not in tools of motivation, but they are like in format of providing these tools. Yes, so they could be in different types of messages for these employees, but in general, we do have our company, Smart Business, as a company, our company works in very different industries: retail, banks, manufacturing, and so on. So in very different industries. The tools for motivation, they are really almost the same, but the mechanics inside these tools, they are different. The messages, they are different, but the tools in most situations, they are the same. So you can have some benefits for your employees, yeah, like exact benefits. You can have gamification system where employee additionally makes some steps or actions to get these pages and to convert these pages into the benefits. And also you can have some rules in your company or HR politics in your company that will be also the benefits of motivation in your company. And of course, like a classic situation when you do have automated KPI system, yeah, key performance indicator system, and this key performance indicator system is directly depends on the motivation of the on the financial motivation of the employees. Okay. And the universal ones, I think KPIs, they are mostly universal ones. Yeah. So because this is like a measurable results and measurable points for the employee, and this is like a transparent situation for both for the employer and for the employee. Okay.
Thank you, Eugene. We have also two questions from the audience. I will also put it in the Q&A panel.
Yeah, thank you. I will wait. Oh, good question. So can I will repeat it, okay? Can LMS completely replace offline learning and onboarding? Hello, I'm representing a global retail company, and we have a huge project for learning our field employees quickly and efficiently assess them and track the information. What's your recommendation about how to start this project? Yeah, I will answer the first question. Can LMS completely replace offline learning and onboarding? First of all, if we're talking about onboarding, I can say that it could add or it could replace a routine operations, and it could replace, from my point of view, from 70 to 80% of the learning process for the new employees. Of course, you can fully replace learning, but with learning management system, and just without any face-to-face contact with the employees. Even if it is a huge amount of the employees, thousands of employees, yeah, they will have some mentors, they will have managers who will be responsible for the onboarding processes, who will be responsible for answering some questions. Of course, the most amount of questions of onboarding process you can provide it through the learning management system. You can assess the employees through the learning management system. If we're talking where to start learning, if you're trying to start huge project, yeah, in retail with the learning of field employees quickly. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, you have to define the groups of the employee. Maybe these employees, they are connected or divided into some groups. Maybe some of the representatives are responsible for the sales of the one products or one group of products, another for the another groups of products. Of course, define the content. Do you have the content for this learning management system? Identify the responsible for the content. Identify the formats for this learning, yeah, and try to start from the test group, yeah. So you can use some test group, test department for some one region, and try to find out what was the result of the implementing of this learning. Okay, so every learning management system, not every, okay, our learning management system has a tools to getting feedback on every learning module. Have a tools of getting feedback about entire experience in the learning management system. So first of all, if you start this project on the test group, you will have, so you can get information about the results, about the experience in the learning, about what was the problems with this learning, and what was the problems even with the format. So they will tell it to you. So listen to your employees, listen to the experience, and you will get this useful feedback, and you will provide a good result in this learning course for the entire employees when you, after this testing, yeah, and providing getting a feedback from your employee. Okay. How to start project? Use this presentation. Yeah, I will share this presentation. We will also share our video record of this webinar through our LMS, of course. Yeah, this is the part of our external learning management process. So we will provide this information to you. If you have any question, feel free to contact us or me through email. Yeah, and we will try to find out. Maybe you do have additional questions. And another question, I think the motivation also depends on what is valuable for your employees, what is inspired them, what is important for us. If you know the answers, you will be able to motivate them. Exactly. I don't know your name. Very good point. From my point of view, and even in our motivation program in gamification, we connected the groups of these pages directly to corporate values. So we digitalize these groups, and we digitalize corporate values and connect them to the corporate values. So first of all, of course, you have to define your corporate values. What are the value for you, and what you are expecting to be provided from the side of your employees? And of course, if you know it, you will be very successful in your motivation program. Okay, so let's try to find out, do we have?
We have one more question. I think this will be the last. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's try that, because if skills are not clearly defined in a company, is it possible to use LMS system? Would it be helpful? Also good point. And from my point of view, we do have a lot of clients, and we do have a lot of potential clients. Not all of them have defined right now the skills and skill metrics in their company. It is not so. It is hard. It is a hard process. It is also depends on the values. It depends on what do we expect from exact position, from exact employee. So, but if we're talking about learning management system, it is of course about the development of the skills. But even if you don't know what type of skills you are developing with these learning materials, you have to be sure that this learning or this information delivered to your employee. And it will be absolutely useful, not useful, but very efficient if you provide this information to your employees. Okay, so it is not just about skills. It could be connected to the skills, of course, and even from the point of view like an entire HR system like Smart HCM LMS, we do have connection to the skill metrics starting from the recruiting. When we assess the potential employee, we assess the skills depending on the skill metrics regarding to the job profile. Okay, but it is not the requirement. You will have a good effect if you implement the learning system, learning management system. Okay, so thank you for a very interesting question. Thank you for your time. Feel free to contact us if you do have any more questions. Please connect to our next webinars, and thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye.